Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear student, welcome to Finance and Banking class. I am Nasir Farooq, lecturer at Greenfield School and College. Today, I am going to start a new chapter of Finance and Banking for the student of class 10 and class 9. The name of the chapter is Central Bank. This is second part. Finance and bankings divided into two part. One part is finance, then another part is banking and insurance. So this is a second part. uh, Student, at first you have to know, uh, you must be answered the second part at least two questions. So be careful about the central banks or banking sectors. This is only theoretical chapter, so this is most important chapter, especially banking sectors. So I hope all of the students attention these lectures, and if you attention these lectures you can easily understand and clearly concept, uh, you can get clearly concept about the central bank. Dear student, you know that every countries there is an especially a central bank. Just like the Bangladesh Central Bank is Bangladesh Bank. It control the money markets. It manage the all any another things or all another activities. So, dear student, today I would like to describe some important topics. First, the concept of central bank. This is important topics. Uh, so, at first, I would like to describe the concept of central bank. So, during the 7th centuries, different kinds of bank were ev- evaluated in different regions. Thus, the money market controlling actively become most important activities. For these reasons, central bank was established. Central bank used to doing its responsibilities in currency circulations, money supplies, and credit controls. The another responsibilities is the central banks. These banks could not lead money markets in its own way, rather it was liable to control the money market. um, Mentions at the every beginning of the civilization, central bank used to drawing its responsibilities in currency circulations. So, dear student, the definitions of central bank. If I give you some definitions, the view of the different writers, according to the Dr. S. N. Sen, central bank is as the leader of banking societies, the king and the sun, everything. It rules the banking sectors like a leaders and like the sun, gives out light and energy. This is most important definitions and easy definitions for the central banks. The another, if I give you some another writer example, suppose according to the professor S.R. Sears, the central bank, the banking the organ of government that undertake the measures financial operations government, and by its the conduct of those operations and by the influence of behavior of financial institutions. So as to support the economic policy of the government. The another, if I give a shortly definitions of central bank is a bank whose essential duty is to maintain the stabilities of the economic standard. So, dear student, I hope you can understand the definitions of central bank. Now, I would like to describe the objection of central bank. The objects of there are different object of central banks. Basically, the money market controls the currency supplies, note and currencies, uh, note and currencies controls, and another's the leader of the all others banking sectors. So, dear students, central bank is the non-profitable public welfare based national institutions. Central banks is nationally institutions. Its operations is controlled by the government. The main object of central bank can be classified in following ways. There are different kinds of central banks. The first um, object of central bank is strongly money market formations. Uh, Strongly money market formations and controls. This is most important object of central bank. um, Now I have described the strong what is strongly money market of formations and controls. Student, at first you have to remember that or it there are two kinds of market. One concept is money market, the another kinds of market is capital markets. Money markets basically form the short term financing, or money markets always supply the short term financing. Short term financings, I mean, when the money supply within 1 year or 1 days to 365 days, it's called short term finance. There are some kinds of money markets or elements of money markets, just likes of treasury bill. Another important topics is treasury bill, commercial papers, uh, and any others, letter of credits. This is one kinds of uh, elements of money markets. So controlling the money markets, or the money market controlled by the central bank or Bangladesh bank. So the main object of the central bank is forming mentions and controlling the money markets. The another important part is capital markets. We know that capital market is just likes of markets which control the Security and Exchange Commissions or Bangladesh Security and Exchange Commissions, and capital market the supply the long term finance. When a financial institution need a long-term finance, I mean 5 years and above times, when a financial institutions need money, they collected from the money market, or sorry, they collected from a long-term finance or to purchase fixed asset from the yeah, capital markets. Capital markets just share capital market sales just likes of materials, just suppose shares, bond and debentures. It is the most important elements of capital market. So capital markets control the Security and Exchange Commissions. So dear student, uh, money market always control and always gives the rules and regulations by the authority of central bank. The another second important topic is economic development. Uh, Also central bank development economics. Uh, uh, Achieving the economic prosperities thought economic planning and implementations is the object of the central bank. This is the second important object of central bank. Central bank always control the economic development and always observations how to developing the economic sectors. The third important topics is notes and currency circulations. This is most important topics. Uh, to run a business policies, to run a financial activities, notes and currencies must be needed and important elements. For these reasons, central bank always try to uh, circulations, notes and currency. uh, there are different ethics, there are different techniques to circulate the notes and currencies. Central banks maintains the foreign currency reserve and dear student, according to the market demand, central banks circulate notes and currency and thereby preserve the currency's value. This is the most important elements of central banks or object of central banks. When central bank doesn't su- does not supply the currencies, then the market or the business face the crisis, money crisis or note crisis. After that moments, when the market notes is crisis, then the money cannot supply properly or proper times. Ultimately the business uh, will be fault. That's why central bank always try to notes and currencies circulations or maintains the notes and currencies circulations. The fourth most important, the number of four important topics is the controlling the foreign currency. Controlling the foreign currency, central banks maintains the foreign currency reserve and control the exchange rate through the applications in different control mechanism. uh, Foreign currencies always control the central banks. This is most important topics. The another important topics or number five main object of central bank, the maintains the currency's value. Maintains the currency's value. This is uh, the central banks, or this is the most important object of central bank. Central bank control the home currency's value with the intentions of creating a positive balance of trade. We know that when we import or export, then we need the maintenance or the maintenance currency's value. uh, when we export or import, the maintenance currency's value or the main important rules of currency's values. That's why central bank always try to maintain the currency value. The number six, the important object of a central banks is banker of the others bank. This is important topics. Banker of the others banks, I mean, we know that when a private bank or specializations banks wants to open a branch or open banking sectors or established or start a business or banking sectors, at first they need to allow or allowance by the central banks. For these reasons, central banks is called banker of the others bank, because of all of the others bank, all of the others financial institutions also obey or controlled by the central bank. And when central banks give some rules and regulations, they must be obeyed, they must be following the rules and regulations of central bank. Without knowing or without giving informations of central bank, any others private bank or financial institutions cannot be but can't be operations their financial activities. For these reasons, central banks is called banker of the others bank. Another yeah, important rules of central banks also provide the service of the economic banks in the regulations of different actions and maintains the coordinations with the commercial bank thought all over the countries. So, dear student, that's why it's called the banker of the others bank. The seven important object of acts as a clearinghouse. At first, dear student, you have to know what is clearinghouse. Clearinghouse just like a house where the scheduled banks the another private banks to get together and they meet their demands and supplies. So central banks is acts as like a clearing house. Central bank provide the service to the commercial bank in the resolution resolution of different actions and maintains coordinates with the commercial banks thought all over the countries. Uh, this is the vital roles of central banks. Central banks always uh, duties always maintains the clearing house. The eight number or number of eight object of a central bank is credit controls. Credit controls. This is most important. One of the important object of central bank is to provide enough credit to the commercial bank. If any excess credit is provided, then central bank has to ensure the financial market stability. So dear student, this is the another object, this is the another view of central bank. The number 9, the object of central banks gives the advice to the government. We know that government can government when government make a financial decisions, then the money is supplied by the central bank. And another important is when government can take in any financial decisions, that at first the government asks to the central banks. Government or the central banks always gives the right or gives the right system to finance in any sectors. That's why it's called the gives that advice to the government. Others advised to give the government by the central banks for the purpose of giving force in economic development of all the internal and foreign aspects. Central banks give the guidance and uh, prepare plan and implements those. Dear student, the number 10, the object of the central banks. Bank of the government, the we know that the Bangladesh Bank is called the government bank because of uh, every countries or each of the countries there is a special bank. There is only banks who control the all of the banking sectors and who implementations all activities of a government. That's why it's called bank of the government. The number 11, uh, public welfares. This is most important. Public welfare, because we know that the main object of a government or central bank is public welfares or non-profitable. So as a central bank is not profit oriented companies, it perform different social and national activities for public welfares. uh, so dear student, uh, government always try or central bank always try control the money markets, control the foreign exchange rate, and control the credit, which allow for the different business organizations. By doing these activities, ultimately central banks will do the public welfare. The number 12, the equal distributions of wealth. This is most important. Central bank is liable to invest in all sectors and in all the regions those have positive impact in national and economic prosperities. Thus equal distributions of wealth ensures balanced development. This is the another most important object of central bank. So dear student, the number 13 says uh, facilitate capital formations facilitate capital formations by providing the credit facilities to economical banks or private banks. Central banks increase the ability of their uh, borrowers of capital formations. The last important topics is 14th, the guide of the banking sectors. Uh, we know that the central bank is the leader of the all others financial institutions or banking sectors. That's why leaders always give the rules and regulations by who is can control or who is can or by these rules and regulations all of the private bank and other institutions can write or can running their business activities or financial activities. That's why um, central banks is called guide of banking sectors. So dear student, this is my lecture, so as I describe in